and in our world. And you have a right to feel strengthless and not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do. And you may have setbacks. You will have setbacks. You'll have times when you're doing real good, and then all of a sudden you're right back. You feel like you're right back where you started from again. Well, that's your privilege. And you have a right to memorialize your loss. We'll talk more about that, but that's a great thing. Memorialize your loss. We had a grief recovery class down in Easton, and one lady, one sweet lady, she came into the grief recovery class and she says, "Anybody see anything different about me?" I didn't see anything different, right? But she had sandals on. And she says, "The sandals." She says, "They were my son's sandals, and he liked to wear them." And she was memorializing his loss. She was saying, "This I remember from him, and this is important to me." And find folks who are patient with you, people who will want to go through your pain with you. Christian myths. If you had enough faith, you wouldn't grieve, or you'd get over it more quickly. The disciples thought that when they went fishing. Secondly, if you know they're in heaven, it shouldn't bother you. Oops. Thanks, Mel. See? You'll have to notice, too, if my wife goes like this, she throws me kisses. That just means kiss. Keep it short, stupid. See, if you know they're in heaven, it shouldn't bother you. I know they're in heaven, but it does bother me. That's a myth. Christians should be able to control their emotions. Tell that to the Pentecostals. Right? It's God's will. Well, it's not God's will that it happens. It's God's will that He gets you through it. Because God loves us. All good things come down from above. Right? From the Father of lights, in whom there's no variableness or shadow of turning. Which means what? He'll never change. The good stuff comes from above. The bad stuff happens to us. God helps us get through the bad stuff, but God never causes the bad stuff. He didn't do it. He could, but He doesn't. Why? Would we do that to our children? Would we hurt our children? No. No, we wouldn't. So, let's see, where was I? This is a blessing. It's a blessing in disguise. It's not a blessing. I'm having a terrible time with it. I hate it. I hate that it happened. And that's not unspiritual for me to feel that. It's okay. That's how you feel. Remember, feelings are never right or wrong. They're just feelings. Now you have an angel in heaven. Great. I'm glad I have an angel in heaven, but I wish they were here with me on earth. See? And they're Christian myths. They're ways that we hurt ourselves. Dumb cliches. Give it time and you'll be over it. Stupid. Or you'll be a better person now. Or just keep yourself busy. Or at least he didn't suffer. Or at least you have other kids. Or he lived a long life. Or be glad that you had him as long as you did. Or try not to think about it. Or he wouldn't want you sad. Or it's time to move on. They're all things, cliches people say, which have no meaning and no purpose, and they just don't help me a bit, do they? They just don't help. But you see, a lot of times we have to realize people are struggling for things to say to me. They don't know what to say. Okay. Now, remember what I said. We go through a process of grief. And after we're somewhere hanging around between anger and depression and trying to make a deal with God if He'll work something out for me, we flow into a time where we feel within our heart, okay, I want to heal. I want to heal. So we enter that doorway of yielding to my situation. Now, when you enter that door, and you're not waiting for some kind of miracle or miracle person to show up that's going to take away all your pain, and you've decided, you know what, this is my lot, I hate it, I didn't like it, but I'm going to live through it, and God is going to help me. Then I come into a position where I can recover from my grief. That's the point that you need my grief recovery book, because that will help you through that process. Basically, this is the process. This is where I have to arrive at within my mind before I'm able to handle my situation and work, accept my loss and feel better about my life. Number one, I need to accept the reality. It really did happen. This loss has really happened to me. Now, see, I have to. That's it. My lover